Hey everyone, I just want to welcome everybody to She Rises, Amplify, and Thrive live speaker series. And this is a series where we get to really highlight amazing spiritual gurus, masters, thought leaders, change makers, healers, you name it. It is right here on this show. And I am super excited to also just share with you that all of the proceeds, when you decide that you want to work or get the gifts from our amazing speakers, all goes to the She Rises Foundation. So we can really help empower, help bring women into their leadership, and really have them step forward, especially those women that are in the underserved and marginalized communities. And it goes towards scholarships, funding, loans, education, you name it, whatever we need to bring more women, powerful women forward, that's where it goes to. So I just want to thank everybody ahead of time for all of your generous donations. And today I have with me Ambujam Rose. And Ambujam Rose is a quantum energy healer with 30 plus years of experience, specializing in accelerated healing and spiritual awakening. Using original vibrational frequencies, she addresses core imbalances to align you with your authentic self. Oh, I love that so much. And as a guide for self empowerment and truth, Ambujam helps clients navigate their spiritual journey with ease, unlocking inner knowing and promoting transformative growth. Her work empowers individuals to step into their highest potential and live authentically. So, the title of today's show is Trusting Yourself, the Empowered Path to Awakening, Embodiment, and Self Mastery. But I have a feeling it might change a little bit. What do you think, Amba Jam, by our conversation earlier?
Faux show.
So, welcome to the
Thank
show.
you.
I'm
Thank
so
you
excited to have.
so much for having me. And hi, everybody. Thank you all for being here with your presence and your time. I'd never take that lightly. We are so precious, right? Our time and where we choose to spend our time and with who we choose to spend with. And so just a big fat thanks, man.
Yes,
And
yes.
we were before the show, we were talking about like I have to get this out before we go into anything. So I want to talk about the energy right now and why you guys may be feeling the worst fear or like fucked up energy, weird energy, messed up energy, where you feel like you can't get your bearings, where you feel like your mind is going crazy, where
What?
you feel like I don't even know who I am, I don't know where I am, I don't know what to do, I have no anchor. Okay. So and it's this week in particular, so it's like perfect that we're having this conversation today. So the last eclipse in March 2025 opened this brand new higher consciousness, worlds upon worlds of higher consciousness that we can actually energetically live in. Okay. It's not really something outside of us. It's our internal shifts that then creates how we live, right? But from a psychic perspective, the old worlds are like behind us and the new worlds are
Good.
opening and we're literally like walking into them right now. The choices that you made
Yeah.
before the eclipse, during those like two back-to-back eclipses and of course the choices you made before then. The choices you are making to be who you are now, and this is with the help of the eclipse, activated this, okay? You are literally energetically in those places now.
Mhm.
So, what that means is everything that is not those vibrations are being like culled away, excavated out of you. And it's like this image of, and we're further along than we were like a couple of days ago into this, but it's like this image of walking down a path and all of a sudden you come up with this tunnel, and the tunnel is super dark. It's a tunnel, right? Or cave. You literally have to walk through the tunnel to get to the other side where there's this greater light because you can see it. But the only way to get there is through. Can't go around, can't go under, can't go side. So we're all going through like this passageway, this transformation to clear some of the most massive fear-based ways we have ever lived. It's like, think of it as like a template that we have been living from that is completely fear-based, and we're literally letting it go and going into a love-based template. Like, it is so freaking major for our little bodies and our minds. And so because, and I'll just use that word template, because we were standing on a fear-based template, and now we're not going to, and we're going to stand on a love-based template. Okay, because this is such a massive shift spiritually and in humanity, the amount of fear that has to leave you now is unprecedented. So we're experiencing it leaving. The mind is freaking out because it doesn't know how to navigate this, right? We can't make sense of it. We might for 2 seconds, and then we're like lost in it again, right? It is pounds and 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 pounds of fear-based ways you have lived since incarnation number 1, first lifetime ever, is leaving. Like, it's leaving us. And so that's why we've been feeling how we've been feeling, especially this week, because this week is one of the major points of where we make these transitions into these embodying these new worlds that we're in. And it's just like the beginning. It's just like the kind of first wave, we could say, because there's many waves, right? We feel them. But this one this week is so massive to align and embody us in all the choices we've been making. And now we have to live those choices, right? And so the energetic has happened. Like, we're in that transition, like right now as we speak. So everything we've ever known is falling away that doesn't match the choices you've been making. So that's what I want to share.
Well, I'm just gonna say, I am definitely experiencing that, like being like going through that shift and kind of going like, oh shit, is this what I should be doing?
Mm-hmm.
So there's that part that's in the back of
Yep.
that's pushing me going, you're going in the right direction, you're going in the right direction. Like we talked about that, trust. But it's interesting because as all I can talk about is for me personally, but like
Mm-hmm.
as I sit in this energy and kind of sit back a little bit, you're right. Like I'm kind of watching everyone and everything around me just kind of go into chaos. And
Yep.
I think that before, if I were like seeing that, it would kind of make me panic and step into fear. But I have learned and just, in just my journey, that chaos can be a really positive thing, which means that the universe really is working to get everything in alignment.
Yep.
So, I understand we're going through the first wave, but it's interesting because like I said, in the past, I would probably have more panic and more fear. But I feel like when the fear comes up, it literally shifts into feeling more empowered, wanting to have more of a
Mm.
voice, and just really, you
Mm-hmm.
know, not that I want to stand on this platform, but I mean, if that's what it takes to,
Both stand on that platform.
yeah,
Hells yeah. She rises, yo.
that's right. That's right. I love it.
live
Thank
live the
you.
teaching, right? I was years ago I was in this Chinese restaurant, and I opened my fortune cookie, and it said the teacher learns twice, and I was like,
Ooh.
so we speak the thing and then we learn again,
Mhm.
right? Like, I always say, hey, if you ever want to know what a healer is going through, look at what they're talking about.
Yes.
It's right there,
Oh,
right?
yes.
And I want to say another thing about when you said you would have more so been, let's just say, identified in the fear, right? And one of the things I've been witnessing too in the last just this week is like let's say this is us when we were born, little sweet little baby, do 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 do, all innocent and stuff, and then we enter a 3D world. And at first, we don't forget, like, let's say, we don't forget who we are, but we start over time to be immersed, right? And then we're like, we are our traumas, we are our experiences, we are all the stuff that went down in our childhood, we are all these things. And we're literally starting to wake up out of this immersement, which creates more of that space or that fear, right? Like, it's so interesting, like that feeling, because you can feel, oh, all this habit in me would want to go there like I used to, but I don't want to. And yet I almost can't help but do it, but I don't want, like, it's such an interesting paradox that we're living, right? Because deep down you don't want to. And this is like back to the topic of our talk today of you have to, if you don't trust your information and trust your heart, you are a fucked. The end.
I'm all well said.
Right? Because what do we have at the end of the day? No matter who we work with, no matter who we talk to, no matter what we've got going on, we lay our head down in that pillow, we're alone
Mhm.
with ourselves. That is what we've got, even though there are people around us, right? If we don't have that core trust of of our path, how it's unfolding, how to navigate, trust the information in ourselves, we don't have anything, right? So we've all been there, like we're scared about something, right? And then we pick a card or we go to a healer or we do something and we're not in ourselves. We're like leaned out a little bit, right? And we're like, uh-oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And then we have like a card will tell us or someone or a friend or a healer, whatever, and we can feel better for 2 seconds. But if we don't have that foundational alignment, it doesn't mean anything, right? Like if we're not checking out the information for ourselves of what resonates, what's right for us, if we don't have that foundational, spirit showing me this image of like this beautiful bowl that is almost like it has a tone, it goes dong. If we don't have our own tone and our own bowl to sit in, we are screwed. And it's been this way always. But we've been kind of able to get away with giving our power away just a little bit or a lot of it. It's getting to the point where we can't afford to. We have to trust not the mind, not the emotions, small self, ego self, whatever we call it. We have to find that north, that truth, that vibration of truth. Like we freaking have to now because the waves are going to get bigger and stronger. Like it's not going to end or stop, right? Like we get to some point in our path of awakening, we're like, oh, this thing isn't stopping. Like I was kind of waiting for things to like even out, where I felt like I used to feel before. I have like a day off. No, we are in constant purification and alignment now with the true self. And so it's only going to get more, not less, but we get better at riding the waves because we have that solid foundation, right? And what's interesting about that is it can create a lot of, when we talk about that, it can create like a lot of perfectionism or like, or self-judgment, like, oh, I'm not doing it there. How do I do it better? Or like what we have to understand is we have had lifetimes of not being in who we are. We have had this life of being abused, violated, gaslighted, like you name it, right? We've had the teachings of the opposite forever. Don't trust yourself. Do everything what everybody else says, right? The formidable, And so we're just learning to trust ourselves now, right? So give yourselves lots of gentle and patience, even though there's urgency to do it. But we're starting really, we're building ourselves brick by brick, right? Coming out of all this abuse and not good enough and unworthiness and all those identities of the 3D world, right? We're like, wait a minute, I'm not these things. Still feels like I am though, right? So we have to trust ourselves, man. Core. Like we have one job. Trust your heart and do what it says. And the other thing I want to throw in there too is, and this just comes with a lot of practice. So we have our intuition to do something. And then we have our story of what it's gonna do or what it means, right? And that story overlays the intuition. So if the intuition says, get up and go to blah, 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 and then the overlay is, oh, I know why I'm doing that. This is what's going to happen. And then you go to the thing and the thing doesn't happen. And now you're like, ugh. And your trust is like eroded again. But did your intuition actually say that thing was going to happen? Or did it just tell you to go there? Right. And so it's almost like putting a blindfold on your mind and just trusting your heart and following breadcrumb by breadcrumb, piece by piece, without a result-oriented story, which takes a lot of practice because it's 2 seconds, right? And yeah, so that's what I want to say. So really learn your heart, learn who you are, learn what your energy is, learn what your frequency is, learn what your essence is, and it'll keep showing you because it's a flower that's constantly blossoming. So what you felt like you were last week, you won't feel like you are today, you know? And to give yourself that space to discover and keep discovering and not to be static, right? So that's what I want to say.
Well, I kind of like would love to piggyback off of that. Yeah, when you say that we aren't who we were last week compared to what we are today, I do feel like the energy is moving so much quicker that we really aren't the same person that we were even 30 seconds ago. That
Nope.
we are always going through this transformational process, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And I this is gonna kind of lead into the other thing when you were talking about like going there and trust. Like when you said like you have your intuition that says go there, and then really what we put on top of that is because the mind has to make everything logical. The mind's logical interpretation that is then
Mhm.
blanketing what the intuition says, and really just let going of all expectations, right? And just saying whatever unfolds is what's going to unfold.
Yep.
But know that your intuition brought you there because whatever is supposed to unfold is something that you can handle, and that's what's meant for you.
Yes, girl. So true.
And I'm not saying like that's the easiest thing to do.
No,
I
it's
get
no.
guilty too, where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go there because this is what it's
Right?
gonna, and then I get there and it's like I'm like, yeah, right into that wall, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is not how I planned it.
Well, and that it's like constant practice to know when some part of us just went into a story or a belief about something, right?
Yes.
Like it's like it's so certain. It doesn't chickadee check itself, right?
Mhm.
And I'm getting this like memory of when I first had that experience of kind of like, oh my God, I don't know anything. Was I used to live in this small town in Massachusetts by the water, and there was a lot of vacation homes around me. And so I would drive home down this one street every single day, and there was a vacation home with a family that would always be playing outside. And then one day, nobody was there. And then nobody was there. And nobody was there. So I'd drive home and I'd go, oh, must be a vacation home. Do, 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 do. And I would just think that thought. One day, like it was this automatic thing. One day I'm driving home and I'm like, oh, must it be a vacation home? And all of a sudden, the spirit comes in and they go, are you sure? Do you know that to be 100% true? That it's their vacation home? And I was like, no. And it was so fascinating. I had this moment of like, I don't even know how to describe it. No story and nothingness. And I was like, wow, I could fill in this blank space with any story I wanted, and it could feel just as true as it's their vacation home. Maybe they sold it. Maybe somebody's going to house it tomorrow. I don't freaking know. And that was life changing for me because I started to watch when I was overlaying on things. Like, I don't know freaking anything.
Right?
Whew. Like, it's overwhelming, and it's also what a freaking relief. Because that means I don't have to know anything.
Yes, and that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself to think that you have to know. And the truth is we aren't here to have to know anything. We're just here to ask the right questions and allow it to
Mm,
unfold. And I think that when we can
mhm.
get into that space
Yeah,
of
you asked
just
the right
asking
question.
questions and just letting it unfold, I think that we get the most profound answers or solutions to what it is that we're
Totally. It's
that
like that's like it's like when we're trying to figure it out, it feels so like one-dimensional and limited, but we don't know we're doing it because we think we're being productive. But when you do drop into that space that you're talking about and you get like, it's so like fortifying and expansive and safe and inspirational and like empowered in 2 seconds, right? The real information versus this other, "Ooh, can we do some healing?"
Are you asking me that if we could?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely we can.
So I feel like we wanna help you guys, with what we're saying is I don't know how to describe it. It's like we wanna help the mind we wanna help you come out of mind and into you
Mhm.
and kind of pull away some identity or some sort of I don't know how to describe it. It's like it's like we've driven down a certain road forever and it's a habit, and then one day you go to drive down that road and there it's blocked, right? Road closed. We wanna help your road closed to this kind of mental, like, living your life, but then go right back to the mind and trying to figure it out and suffering about it, and then going back to the mind. It's like looping. So I feel like we just wanna do something with everybody here to it's already starting because 'cause you're each gonna get what you need
I love it.
to wherever you guys are at on your path to help you recognize when you're in the mind or in the story or in the belief or in the ego, whatever we call it, and realize, "Oh, that's way too limited and way too small. And I'm gonna go back to my heart and like flow." So that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna assist you guys to embody more of you. And why we hold on to the mind is to feel safe, right? Like you were saying, Kelly, like we have to figure it out because that's what we do. It's like actually we don't have to figure it out. But why we try is to feel safe. And so what we're working with right now within all of you guys is like helping you let go of false safety. Because true safety doesn't come from the mind knowing what's next, right? It comes from the river, the flow, following, listening, knowing, feeling you're in the river and you're flowing down the river, and when you go around a bank and around another bank, like you're not controlling the river, you're listening to the river and you're in the river, right? Spirit's like it's like being on the back of a motorcycle. You're not driving, but when the driver drives and you lean to the right, your body leans, okay? And if you've never been on a motorcycle, you don't have to be because we could imagine that, right? So I'm gonna just be quiet for a couple minutes and do this more kind of leaping forward in your quantum self, we could say, and just embodying where you are now, who you really are now. Yep, everybody's going forward now. It's like really everything should feel playful because that's who you really are. And like curious and joyous and exciting, not emotionally exciting because emotions come and go, right? We're talking about like following your heart is truly playful and light and letting go of constructs, concepts of who you are and what life you need to be and who you need to be and how you need to live versus, well, what's my heart say? What's my truth of who I am and what it wants to live, right? Yep. So we're just leaping you guys forward more. You guys are kind of landing in your own next levels of consciousness and places, even though you're still kind of on the move. Like we're never static anymore. We're not just standing there, right? Those days are over. Yep. So I'm completing with this task. What the word comes, and with you guys and your teams, like everything's taking what was behind you now is like being taken where it needs to go. And then we're just going to kind of do this flushing out too of like just flushing out whatever you don't need right now and updating and cleansing and stuff. Uh-huh. Your heart always leads the way. It will never steer you wrong. Your concepts will, your beliefs will, your traumas will, your wounds will, how you see the world through concepts and beliefs. That is what leads astray, right? Guaranteed. It's the idea of who you should be and who you are and what life you should live is what creates you to suffer. Let go. Be your heart only. That's it. And then follow along. Letting go of the need to be this other thing, right? Oh, yeah, okay. So I'm completing with all you guys now. Thank you all. Thank you, Kelly.
Oh my
So
God.
we're in the move now. Like we're on the move. Like all suffering comes from our idea of what should be, who we are, and the life we should be living. I should have more of this. I should have more of that. I should this. I should that. And social media does not freaking help that, right? Just do this and just do that. Like you just open your Facebook or your Instagram for a second, check it, and there's thousands of people being like, this is how you do this thing. It's like, oh my God, I get it, but still, man, we just know there's another way. We're like, no, that didn't resonate with me. Because you feel it in your heart. You're like, eh. So social media is just an interesting thing, right?
It really is.
And
Well,
I'm not trying to, it's not about judging what's being said. It's the point of there's so much noise saying how things need to be or how it should be. And then there's this spiritual FOMO, this idea that somebody else has a better life than you because of what the social media is saying. And it creates so much suffering and comparison and all these things, right? And it's like, what is in your heart? That is all you have to do and be. That is the only thing you ever have to do is follow your heart. And no matter what shifts and like quantum things we go through and the gateways and all the things that we will talk about for the rest of this life, right? All you ever have to do is follow what's next for you. That's
yeah.
it. That's what creates the quantum leaps. That's what creates the timeline shifts. It's not something outside of you. It's like just follow the next highest thing in your heart. That is all you have to do. What are you led to do? What are you called to do or be? Even if that's nothing, even if that's just silent for now. And to trust that until it's time to get up. So there is no thing that will save you or get you to a higher thing other than following your truth. That is all you have to do. That's it. That's it. That's it.
And doing it in the most authentic way, right? Um,
Yep.
so I have to, if I can share this, oftentimes I have people come to me and they're like, I need you to tell me what my purpose is. And I'm like, well, your purpose is you came here just to be you. And they're like, no, no, there is something that I have to do. So then I always ask them, I go, well, what is it that you're feeling led to do right now in this moment? and
Mhm.
and some of them are like, well, it's this, but I feel like there's something more. And I said, well, how do you know that that won't lead to this something more that you're wanting? And because when you mention like that thing, I think everybody thinks that means like I have to do my purpose. Well, just
Right.
coming here and just being who you are and living every day and who you are and your passion
That is it.
is your purpose.
Yep.
All the stuff that comes this way is just how you're expressing that purpose. And as long as you're doing it authentically you, which is your heart, right? Is living in
Yeah.
that heart space and allowing it to guide you, then you are you're following your purpose every day, every second,
Yep.
every half second, as long as it's you're doing it in that authentic energy.
Yeah, and when you're talking about when somebody says, "I feel like there's this thing I gotta do," and we can feel it, the energetics of it, right? We're like, "Oh, what is it?" And it's like, well, how you get there is follow what is next. Next step. Sometimes life just freaking pushes somebody in the thing, right? But more often than not, it's a slow progress, man. Like, look at your own life, everybody. How did you get to this moment? Nobody snapped their fingers. Were there moments of miracles where you were just kind of like grace came in and like saved you from your own self? Yes, right? But if that happened, it's because it was aligned with your path and it was quote needed to, right? So there's nothing we can do that's outside of us, that's like outside our path. And when we feel like ooh, something's coming, I know it. Or when we're looking to move and we can feel like ooh, a move is coming, or how you quote get what you're feeling is you f- take the next step of what that thing needs, right? You just like, and the purpose, which is, it's an interesting word, right? Like, there are some people that have a mission, let's say, right? Like, they're here to do a very specific thing,
Mhm.
right? And then there are some people that their specific thing keeps shifting, but the energy is the same or similar, but how they express it changes,
Mhm.
right? There are some people that they have absolutely zero control of anything. And they look around and they're like, well, people seem to be following their heart and living their purpose. I don't know what to do. I'm completely lost. And that's when you have to dig even deeper to be like, well, what is it for me?
Yes,
Right?
for me. I just want to emphasize that because I think that is one of the pieces that we miss because we've been so trained and ingrained with looking outside. And what is it for me? I love that you said that.
I
Yes.
remember when first started doing my readings like 30 years ago. And it was like, I don't know, the first couple of years, and I was sitting in front of this guy, and he was a man, so he definitely had more of the need from a man brain to produce and be a somebody. And he's like, I'm trying all these things, but nobody's hiring me, nothing's happening. Why? And I just like surrendered in the information, and I saw all he wants to do is sit under a tree and be fascinated by the veins of a leaf. That's all he wants to do. But he wouldn't let himself do that because he was in this idea of who he needs to be. And who knows if he would have surrendered into the truth in him, what that would have led to. We don't know. But he was just like, no. I'm like, but
Right.
nothing else is working, see? Like, you
Right.
have to follow your heart. But the mind is like, but how am I going to make money if I'm just looking at a leaf? We don't know. We don't know the path. Our heart knows the path, right? Can I share one more thing on that, actually?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yes, please.
I was on this, I don't know, I think I have to save that story. What do you wanna say? I have to save that story.
It's I'm gonna tell you, I'm loving our conversation because I really feel that this is an important message that we do need right now, especially with the energy and because going back to the example of the man, I have to do this because then that's a conditioned belief, right? And I think it's really important to emphasize that that is a conditioned belief that we have to let go of, especially as we move into this new energy. Because if we bring that old into that new energy, we're just gonna corrupt it again, and we'll be right back where we
Yes.
started. And it really is. We're moving into this beautiful energy, this beautiful timeline of just having the opportunity of what we've always been asking for. I really wish that I could just be myself. I really wish that I could just chill out and just enjoy life. Well, the
Right?
universe is creating that for us. Why are we still bringing this we're trying to push this old paradigm in there? And I do feel like
Mhm.
like that is part of the fear because it's creating that friction because the universe
Mhm.
I literally just got this vision of the universe holding up this big stop sign that says no, like this is like do not enter, this isn't wanted here. But
Mhm.
yet we're like trying to push it into there. And you know, one of the things that I can do is I can see into timelines. So I see where we're headed.
Mm.
And it is
Mhm.
beautiful. But I'm telling
Mhm.
you, you, if I can share a message,
Yes, please.
like, stop bringing the doer, like, I have to do, I have to be something energy in there, because if you really want to discover what it is, let go, let be, and without any effort, it's going to appear for you if we let it. Because this is definitely a collective timeline that we're moving into. And I'm going to tell you, if there's enough of us that bring that
Mhm.
energy, the rest will come. So sorry, I just feel like I
No,
just
it's so good because I
over.
was actually gonna say about the doer. You just said it, like, when you were talking about that, I'm like, "It's not about being the doer anymore."
Mhm,
You do, but you do from being,
mhm,
right? Like, yeah. So, it's been talked about for years, the fifth dimension, right? 3D, 5D. Well, guess what? That's where we're going. 5D, 6, 7. Life's different there. It's heart-based. It's not fear-controlled based. Something's clearing again. Yeah, it's like you said, you can't bring the old you, and if you do, it hurts, man, really fast.
mhm.
And it's like we have to almost detox the identity of the third dimensional world, of the power, the control, the fear-based way. And what a huge blessing that we actually get to live in this body and make this shift. I don't want to use the words heaven on earth because heaven is something inside of you, right? Like heaven on earth is not something you make happen. You be that and you do from being, and then that creates your world, right? But yeah, we're moving into this whole other just joyous, heart based, not a doer way, but a be do. You be, then do. You don't do, then be. Like
Yeah,
her
hope that you be, right?
huh?
I said hope that you be. You don't do and hope that you be.
Yeah.
You and then do. It puts you in the direction of that doing. And like I don't even feel like doing is the right word.
Mhm.
When you're being,
Mhm.
it puts you in the energy of creating. You get to
Mm.
create what's next or what's to come.
From this really true you.
Mhm.
Like our minds cannot even imagine on their best day what this new life is like. Can't do
Right.
it. It just can't, it won't do it. Even the bestest image ever is not it.
Mhm. I agree.
Can we take some callers?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, can we take
Cool.
some questions? Because this has been
Yes.
such a great discussion. Okay, so there are a lot of people in here, which I'm super excited about. So if you have a question, if you can raise your hand and you just go down below where it says react, and it should be able to put your hand up so we can see who has questions or comments or whatever it is that you guys would like to share. I'm like, "Oh, come on, you guys have to have questions about this." Oh,
Maybe not. Maybe we just
may
keep talking.
yeah, maybe they're here to hear. Yeah. Well, if anybody has any questions, just hit that button and come off, or actually we do have a question. Anna. Anna's got a question. I love it. Go ahead, Anna, come off mute.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, I was just listening to that, and I all those what you were describing perfectly resonates with how I've been feeling,
Mm.
and I've been kind of like on a hard journey of like healing my some traumas I've had, and it's worthwhile, but it's it takes a long time, but
Mm.
yeah, I guess I don't know if this is the kind of question you were wondering, but I was kind of hoping for some insight into kind of career direction. It's uh yeah, that's what I've been thinking about lately a lot. So um I don't know if you'd be able to see anything.
S- So here's what I see. You just like laid it all out perfectly, actually. All the answers of what you just said. So there's this image of you in this, like you said, this long journey of trauma healing, right?
Yeah.
And you've got like, I can't say this much more to go because the mind will create a definite experience of what it thinks that means. Okay. But you've had
Yeah.
to be so solo for so long to dig the roots of these things out.
Mhm.
Okay. You're getting to the end of that solo digging, focused only there.
Mhm.
As you're getting to the end, okay, there's this image of like a line of energy, and the line represents the end. Okay. On the other
Amazing.
side of the line is this next thing, quote, career, work,
Yeah.
doing in the world. So everything that you just said, you're just exactly on that path. So it's coming. And what's amazing is, holy shit, man, you've been doing this thing for years and you're actually
Mhm.
getting to the end. Like, wow. Right. And then I feel that whatever it is that is there for you to express and like start to interact with people
Mhm.
again, um, I feel like that wants to tell you something. So, um, oh, it makes me want to cry. It says this to you: we know you've been feeling whatever this thing is. We know you've been feeling it ever since a little girl, and it can seem as if you've missed it, but you didn't. You just needed to root out and remove energy to actually be the thing that you've been feeling,
Okay.
and it's coming. So you're on a trajectory
Mhm.
that, let's say if we had if you asked me this question 5 years ago, I'd be like, got like 5 years left of this situation. So you're just so on path, even though it may
Yeah.
not seem that way, because your mind could be like, I shouldn't still be focused on this type of healing. I need to be moving on like everyone else is doing. No,
Yeah.
girl. Mm-mm. You're so close, man. Keep going. And it's not this thing of,
Yeah.
oh, I'm totally healed now. Now I'm ready. It's
Yeah.
There's a ripeness, like when an apple falls from a tree, there's a certain ripeness that happens and it falls. And it's not because the apple thinks it has to be ripe like that. It's a
Mhm.
ripening, right? It's happening energetically and physically. You're going to get to a certain ripening stage that life starts moving you in this other direction. So you can't mentally steer the ship. What you can
Mhm.
mentally do is keep listening and following and holding on,
Yep.
knowing when it's truly time, it'll happen. It's all right there. It's just timing.
Yeah.
And you're still learning some things too that will help you on the quote other side of the line, you know.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you, Anna, for your question. And Paula, you have your hand raised. What would you like to share or ask?
Wow, that was very resonant also.
Mhm. Of
And
course, right? Because 'Cause we're all here
yeah,
together.
yes. Um, and I just want to comment and inquire about the being thing and the story about the tree. I feel very resonant. Like at this point, oh, it makes me just so emotional. In my life, I just feel like I finally have time to be.
Mhm.
And like I just want to spend time with the animals and like I feel like I have this connection with them, but I don't quite understand it. And it's this pause between like it's time to jump and then I feel like but not yet.
Uh-huh.
And
Yep.
go but don't go.
Go, but don't
And
go.
yes.
It's like, "Come on, guys, really? Can you just
Yeah.
either." Yep. Yeah, again,
Yeah.
you're right on it. I wanna speak to, well, I just wanna say you're just spot freaking on, because that's what it looks like for me as well. Like, you're headed towards this direction. Your mind might have been like, it's almost like you have hands pushing you, and you're like this, "Wait." I wouldn't have thought I was going in this direction, says me 20 years ago, right? I had a whole plan. Life's like, whatever. We don't care about your plan. So good for you, I have to say out loud, for actually listening to the tree thing,
Yeah.
right? Like that was not hard for you. I don't know what you did or what your family was like or what was around you, but I just see this image of like it could be a metaphor or it could be exactly what it was. I don't know. It's like, I'm going to go to law school. I'm going to be a lawyer. I'm going to have a degree. I'm going to have my practice and I'm just going to do this thing. And then you went to go start doing it and you maybe had a year of that or a year and a half and life was like, mm-mm. And you're like, are you kidding me? What do you mean I'm not this? So this was like 15 years ago, I want to say that I'm watching this shift, right? 20 years ago, something, 15 years ago. So let's say you woke up, you had an awakening, right? And you're like heading down this path and then awakening happened and you're like, wait, what? And yet your heart was like, yeah, I kind of knew. But I was so driven, let's say type A, right? So driven and so this and so that. It was kind of too late. I was already on that path. I would have been too scared to say no. But thank God life awakening happened because now I get to have an excuse to leave because it's not really where my heart was, but I could have done that job pretty well. But I wouldn't have been happy and I wouldn't have been satisfied and I definitely would have been fulfilled. And I would have left, that life would have left me searching and longing, right? So that's what I want to say. Like, because you could have so easily stayed on that trajectory, you were like, nope. And now it's 15 years later ish, right? And like this thing that's coming alive is kind of similar to when it first started happening to you, because your mind would have been like, wait, what? This is my trajectory. And yet this, whatever you're feeling that's coming is what I wanted to, I'm finally getting to that point. But I had to say all that so you have that reflection of what you already knew. But it helps when a stranger says it out loud, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have to call you a shaman. I have to. And so when you're having this feeling of go, don't go, you're in that midst of kind of shifting into that, I'll just say this shaman energy that your human is still being prepped for and ripening and into and learning and kind of merging into that. And shaman isn't even an exact right word, but it's the closest word I could find that matches this energy that you're talking about. And so keep following that thread that you feel and it'll have its own time. And sometimes it can feel like my husband and I say, oh God, we're like going through the butthole, man. Like, hold on, squint your eyes. We don't even have like a hazmat suit. We're just like, oh, right. And then poof, you're out. And it's like, phew, let me wipe off the poo. I'm ready to go. Right. And so you'll have moments of like, oh, that taut feeling, right? Go, don't go. Oh God, hurry up. But just keep going, man. You will get through it. What's that saying? Like, you can't, I don't know what, there's some sort of Bible saying about the only thing that can get through the eye of the needle, right, is consciousness, right? So your human is going to go through the eye of the needle to be this kind of next you, and that's the process you're in right now. So when you feel that tautness, be like, yep, this is it. And it won't just be one time, right? It'll be happening, but that's about your consciousness shifting out of linear world, or not linear, like, I don't know how to describe it, denser world into more of this other energy. So what do you have to say to that?
Wow. And like you are so incredible. Like I just
Mm.
love you and I love your insight and I love, love, love the way you explain things. And
Thank you.
I hope this doesn't sound offensive, but every time I see you, I just think like you're the coolest Sesame Street character that I always wanted to watch as a little kid. That
That's
was
so
just
funny.
yeah, yeah, like listen to her.
Oh my God, I love it.
Um, but that is right on. Like I literally was going to college to be a doctor. And then
Uh,
boom, car accident happened
oh.
like, completely shifted my, like, brain, my memory,
Mm,
and,
mm. So that was the
yeah,
awakening then that happened, the car, huh?
yeah,
Interesting.
and then I was a mom of 5, and all my kids are grown now, and now I'm like, "Okay, well,
Mm,
now that I've taken care of everybody, now what do I do?"
yep. It's so cool, like, we're all in this transition, but in a different way, right? Like, it's like our flower is budding the next petals, and for each one of us, it's different, but it's a massive transition that we're in, right? Like, oh my God, it's actually happening. Like, we're actually getting to live as our true self now, live that spirit energy that we've been feeling our whole lives and choosing and healing for, right?
Yeah,
It's so cool. Thank
yeah,
you. Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. So I do have a question in the chat.
Mhm.
And then after this question, Karen, if you want to, after we answer this question, Karen, you come off mute because I know you're having a hard time with your hand button, and then we'll go back to the hands that are raised. You've got lots of questions. I love this.
Cool.
Okay, so from the chat, from Homa, I hope that I'm saying your name correctly. It says, "Hi, I'm feeling very stuck and stagnant in my life. I'm wondering what Ambujam's insights are, and if possible, on my interest in academic medicine. Thank you very much."
So I'm going to simplify why you're feeling stuck. You're still focused on the you that you think you are, the ego you. You got to get out of there, man. So that's what I see when you ask that question. There's this image of you, like your real self is here, let's say, or real life that's like waiting for you. Like we're all talking about, like we have this next thing, right? You're in this ego you, and you're feeling very stuck because you're looking through life through her. Get out. Put your awareness in your heart. Stay there, steep there, become your light. And then you won't feel stuck. So the only reason why you're stuck is because you're in the quote wrong room. Get out of that room. And I know it's easier said than done in a way, but it's actually not. It's like things are complicated and they're super simple, right? So the complication is the trying and the how do I and what do I? And it's like all you have to do is just focus on your heart and want to get out and love. It's like this image of do a ceremony, do a ritual, do a burial. Be like, I've been in this my entire life, but I gotta go. And I love you, but there's something else waiting for me, and I can't look at it from this place anymore. It's like wearing a raincoat that's all zipped up and the hood is on, and you're looking like you get this much space looking out of it. Just unzip, take it off, and move on. Seriously. Trust the heart. Trust that you that is awaiting. And that's the stuff that will start coming up when you put the ego away, let's say, right? Is the fear of, oh God, and all the past life stuff of why you're scared to trust that. But that's the path, man. Be with all that fear. You've got this. Yep. That's what I want to say.
Thank you. All right. Karen, if you can come off mute, go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can.
Yay, thank you. So
Yay.
great to meet you in person, Ambujam. I love your work so much. All of the
Thank
things you
you.
do, the way you jumped us ahead after the last eclipse. Holy mackerel. I'm so resonating with everything you guys are saying. And my question almost might be like your last person that you talked to, but I feel like I'm hovering right over something. All my tarot cards, everything. It's like, you're so close, you're so close. Don't stop, trust, trust, trust. But I guess I'm frustrated and it just
So
as long as I keep
here's
up with my
here's
spiritual practice, I'm not sure.
here's my question to you. If you have one foot in one world and one foot in the other, why won't you take your other foot out and standing in the world that you know is calling you and that you can feel? And it may not be an answer that you have right now, but that's where you have to go. Because this is where each one of us are so specific of what we need for support, like from our teams and ourselves or somebody we work with. Everyone has reasons of why they don't want to let go of the
Okay.
very thing they are in the process of letting go. It's super normal. We're a human being waking up to the majesty of who we are. Like, what? Sometimes it's blissful, sometimes it's freaking overwhelming as fuck. So I feel like you know where you're going, not mentally, but you feel it. And it's so soft and gentle and kind. And it's your
Ooh.
next step into, like when you take your leg off of the old world and step into that world, that's just the beginning, and then off you go. It's like a ship is waiting. Ooh, that's a good metaphor. So you're standing on the edge of a town, and there's this bay and this water, and this boat's coming to get you. And you know you want to go in that boat. But the fear of letting go of this place that you've lived, right? This whole town and the you, and yet that boat is coming. And it's just timing of when the boat actually fully, like it's coming, like you said, right? And the cards are telling you it's coming. The only thing I have to say is why might you be afraid to take your foot to get on the boat?
Okay. So amazing that I keep getting the star card and temperance. They have one foot on land, one in the water. Pretty incredible that I know that if the tarot could
Dang.
literally smack me, it would. Thank you so much. That's incredible insight. I'm gonna be thinking how I can
Yeah.
when the ship
What?
comes into my harbor.
Yeah. Ask yourself, what might I be afraid of? I wonder. To take off my foot of the land. Because you've done this. Spirit says you've done this 1,000 times.
Really?
It's your next step. They're like, don't say really. They're like, come on. Have you not done this 1,000 times? They're like, let us rephrase. Come on. Have you not done this 1,000 times?
Yes.
All right. Here's your next one. So
Thank
next
you.
level of fear. Yes, girl. Fucking go, man.
Thank you so much.
We always know, man, right? Like we always know.
Excellent.
Thank you, love.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Okay, so next question is, I want to say it's Mary. Hopefully I said your name right. If I butcher anybody's names, I apologize ahead of time. But Mary, if you want to come off mute. Oh, she disappeared. Okay. Maybe she'll come back into the room and we can get her question. Okay, so we'll go to Pippa next. So Pippa, go ahead and come off mute and ask your question.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Pippa.
Hello. Oh, I don't know what I've done. I bought a property, and I was going to have a healing center, and I was going to do this, that, and I was going to do all these things. But actually, I'm here, and I've just fallen in love with the space, in the sense that it's just so beautiful that I'm not sure that I want all those other things now. So I'm in this space of not knowing. So it's like everything I thought I wanted, I don't think I want it anymore. And it's just, I'm just being here, and it's just so beautiful that I am like that man who just wanted to sit and look at the leaves. I just want to sit and look at the beauty that surrounds me. But I don't think I want all those other things with people here. And it's funny because lots of people have left my life, and it is just me. And now it's just me sitting in what I thought I wanted with all these people. But I'm just here with beauty. And I want the animals and the trees. But yes. And
so then what would be your guidance to yourself?
well, this is it.
That's right, girl. You have to give yourself the time that it naturally takes to sit in this space now, from this, without wanting, figuring it out, needing anything. Every time the mind comes in and contracts because it needs to hurry or figure it out or think you made a mistake or be like, well, what happened to everything I want? Spirit says, go give it a broom so it can go sweep. It's an image. Thank you, mind. Here's a broom. Go sweep over there. I'm just going to sit. So to really give yourself all the time that is naturally needed to sit in this new space, let things be until the next move comes to you, whatever that's going to be. You have no clue. And there's two things I want to say, because this can happen to many of us. So we've made choices from the consciousness that we were, and then we make another choice, and then we make another choice, and we make another choice, and we make another choice, and we make another choice. The energies don't match anymore, and things shift, and something either goes away or something new comes, right? That we thought we wanted. For you, and I feel like I have to say this, even though my mind is like, don't give that secret away, because I want you to, but it doesn't matter what I want. I was going to say, because I want you to feel this for yourself, but it's important that I say it out loud. Part of what got you there was the carrot of all these things. It was like, "Diddle-lee-lee-lee." And you're like, oh yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm paraphrasing, you know?
Yeah.
But it was the carrot that got you there. And now you don't need that carrot because you got there. And so what is no longer necessary to get you there is no longer necessary to get you there. So that which is no longer true is going away or gone. What is true and what will remain true will is unknown at this point and will remain to be seen. So your only job is to give everything, all your devotion to yourself and being in this in between, not what things were, not what things are going to be, in this in between space, like being pregnant.
Sounds simple,
Yeah, it is simple. The only thing that makes it not
but it
simple is the
isn't.
mind.
I know, but it isn't simple, really. But
No, it
because the
is.
mind comes in.
That's the only thing that makes it hard. That's why Spirit says, give it a broom.
Okay, I will listen to the transmission we did earlier, or the activation we did earlier about the mind and clearing it out. I'll listen to that again. But yes,
Isn't
so
it
just sit
cool?
with it.
Yeah, sit in this space. It's cool, like with all you guys' questions and like this whole conversation, like we're all in the same space. We're in transition into this whole new energy. And how freaking cool is that, man?
Yes.
And we don't know what's
Amazing.
around the corner, but we have enough self-trust now to be in this uncomfortable unknown and to be like, I might be scared, my mind's going to get triggered, stuff's going to get triggered, but I know I'm in the right place underneath it all. I just know I am. I don't, it's like the role. So when you go to see a play or you watch a movie, when the actor is so dang good at what they do, you forget they're playing a role, right? You're like,
Yeah.
whoa, totally engrossed. Then the play or the movie is over, and then the actor goes home and is not that role anymore because it was playing a role. What happened to us is we forgot we were playing a role. We were playing it so well. We were this person, this identity, this mind thinking, habit, fear-based, not questioning self thing. It's just what we were. The awakening is saying, hey, psst, role is over. Time to go now. And we're like, what? That seems impossible. But the awakening says, you were never the thing that you were playing in the first place. It felt that way. You were so good at it, you became the role. But it's not who you are. This is who you are now. And this is who you are. 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 It keeps coming, right? And so this massive transition that we're in literally this week is really a huge point, getting us deeper into this high vibrational, playful, free, joyous space that, as Kelly said, like we've been waiting for this our entire life. Here it is. And we're all in a different spot with it of how much we're in it versus transitioning in it. It's all like perfect. And we're going to be in a brand new space, man, and then go from there. Well, right now we're in the transition, like in this moment, we're all transitioning. Like this call is happening in the transition. And we're like on the train having some tea and talking. Hey, you know that thing? Yeah, I know that thing. Oh, look, We're all going somewhere. Where are we going? I don't know, but look at that tree. That's nice out there, isn't it? Yep. Right? We're all
Spot
having a
on.
conversation about it, huh?
Yeah, spot on. Yeah. Like your car, you're traveling, we're traveling in the car, going there quicker. Yes, just enjoying
Just
getting there, but
enjoying.
enjoying the journey.
We
Yeah.
don't need the mind anymore to know what to do, to figure it out. That's why this part is so hard for us, because we can't approach this transition like we've done all the other ones, because it's such a different frequency, it's such a different consciousness that we can't use our old I can't even think of a word now. Just the old way we used to approach change. It's not working. We literally need to feel it, be it, feel it again, be it again, feel it again, be it again, feel it again. We don't need this. Don't need the thinking, linear, limited 3D. And that's what Spirit is saying. Why you don't need this and why it's not working at this junction is because that is the quote 3-dimensional mind. You're moving into 50, 60, 70 higher vibrations. You need you need to be from there, recognize from there. Like, we don't need the old backpack. And we're literally in the transition right now. So we love the mind. We still need it to exist, right? We need our brains, but we don't need the quote egoic, third-dimensional, fear-based, trying to be safe mind to figure this out. We need something else now, which is, the heart, the trust, right? It's freaking cool, yo.
Definitely. But that's where we're going. Yeah. Trusting the heart and living from there.
Full on.
Said. Beautifully said. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Sifa. All right. We have, do we have to, I'm like, I think we have more time for one more question.
Sure.
So again, hopefully I say your name correctly. Is it Naharaya? Did I say that correctly?
Naharia.
Naharia. That's a
Hi.
beautiful name.
I can't believe I get to ask this. I have been searching for myself, trying to find myself, be myself my entire life. I've been married 40 years and I've been getting mentored over the last 10 months.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm getting told is basically I need to leave my marriage.
Okay.
And that's like wrecking the home. There's no kids at home anymore. They're adults. It hasn't been happy a lot of the time, but I think I sort of need somebody else to say, yeah, you got to go. That's the only way you're going to find yourself. And
Girl.
yeah, it's a lot to leave.
We have to be very delicate here.
Okay.
Because I'm sure we can all relate to this in our own ways. I don't know how to describe this with words. The part of you that's asking this question, let's say it's a circle. And it's like, I'm being told this. I need to know this. What about, right? It has questions. It's looking, it's wondering, it's seeking, it's doing all the things, right? Where the delicateness comes in is if that part is fed, it will fucking break you.
If the circle is fed, that's asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't quite understand.
Spirit says, excellent. You're, yep. You're not in yourself when you're in
Like
that.
I'm not in my heart.
No. You are at, and it's been this way for like 20 years. Okay. And this is one of those awakening things that is not billboard. It would be easy if a billboard says to you, hey, guess what? You're waking up and this is what's going on and this is exactly what you have to do. You'd be like, okay. Not for you, not your being, because that would actually hinder you. Because you are supposed to figure this out your fucking self. Not because you're alone, but because you are the baby bird flying the nest and the mother bird has to watch the baby bird figure it out. And if the mother bird were to save that baby bird at all, the baby bird would die. It wouldn't make it in the forest. Okay?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
If this part of you is so delicately balanced, this thing, because of your trauma and your past lives and your the thing that makes this thing up, it's not who you are at all. Okay, this is one of those like overwhelming, like, wait, what? Because it still feels like it's you, but it's not you, and it's been very alive still for 20 years. Okay, it needs it gives its power away foundationally. So you can go in your heart and you'd be like, what do I do about X, Y, and Z? And this thing will go, what do I do about X, Y, and Z? It could even give the power away to yourself because of its energy, its consciousness, its need to be led versus self-led. Okay.
Mhm.
If somebody is not freaking careful with you and they don't see this, they're going to feed that. And that's where it will fucking break you because you will give your power away again and it can be detrimental.
Yeah, they're clearly giving me choice.
So
So this part of me that wants confirmation is the part of me I just need to experiment or, listen
you
to
need
my
to
heart.
understand what drives her. Why does she need to do that? Why does she look outside herself? Why does she need the confirmation? What's the energy that's motivating all of that since the word go? Yep. See, you're going there now. That's the beginning.
Okay.
And you have to like love her because she needs not another thing to do. We don't want to give her another ball to bounce. She needs to be seen and called back home and be understood about what motivates her to seek outside herself like that. Why, I wonder. So we don't judge her. We want to understand. Why have I felt this way my whole life, I wonder? And why, no
Right.
matter what somebody tells me, this doesn't solve this, though. Right? It's not solved.
Right.
And
Right. Because I
so,
don't know it myself.
exactly. So think of it. So I see this image of like you, aligned you, that I don't have a word to describe you, because if I did, it would feed the circle, right?
Mm.
That non-label you. So she's all like surrendered back in, let's say, right? Just like dropped in. Then there's like half like this. One energy goes this way from above and over. One energy goes up and around and under, around, under. The you watches this circle try to. And the underneath is the guide for this part to at some point go, huh, why am I doing this, I wonder? Huh. It has to like have a little awakening because it's in habit, right? You, the real you can wait and just hold space without figuring out, of curiosity and love and curiosity of let this part freak out, keep trying to know, let it do all the things it wants to do, like a child that, like a mother watches a child screaming because it can't have a chocolate bar or whatever, right? Because the mother knows what's best for the child. The child wants what it wants, and the mother's like, not right now. And the mother has to hold space for that child to freak out and be like, I hate you, right? But the mother knows better. Child doesn't hate the mother. So hold space for this part of you, man. Because this is so huge for you, because this has never happened yet in this life, at least, let's say, of having this, I don't want to say solved, but knowing it's not the path, it's not the way, it's not the answer, it's not, because it's empty. If you followed it, you still wouldn't have an answer, because it's not coming from a real guidance. It's like a fear-based, kind of energy, let's say, right? Mixed with personality and traumas, and it's the you, it's the identity you that we're all waking up out of. Like we're all waking up out of our identity, right? And your identity, this massive piece of it, just happens to have this very specific life theme that it keeps looking and trying. That's why you're not at peace, because you don't know the answer yourself, right? And you can't look at it through the thing. You got to hold space for this thing to finally get tired. All right. Right.
Mm.
And we all have this quote circle. Everybody's is just really different.
So is there some kind of heart centering practice one can do to
So this is
learn?
yes, and this is where we have to be careful, because the circle will hear me and then create a thing to do. Right.
Right.
So I'm just talking to your teams here. See, this is where we can have the perception that we're not supported, because nobody's stopping this for you. They're just letting it tire itself out, right? But it's not true. You have to do this on your own. Like this part has to do what it's doing, because if anything were to interrupt it, it would interrupt your knowing of yourself that you crave so dang deeply, right? And you're not handicapped. Like this part of you just was like, I came into this life, this is handicap. I'm like, no, it's not. It's your greatest gift, because it's going to show you who you really are. Okay. So you got a lot of support, man, but everyone's hands off, because they're just like, we can't touch that thing, because it's not going to help her be who she is. You might have moments of when they can, because that's going to help you be who you are. Okay. So when I ask your teams, what now? How does she, what do they have to say about you coming into your heart? It's a feeling of restoration from the busy world. You're just being. You're being, like, imagine being somewhere out there in the waterfalls and in the nature, and there's nothing to do and there's no one to be. You're just being and listening to the waterfall. That's what it is. Be that. And the circle will come and be like, okay, what do we do now? Are we doing it right? Or is now when I ask the question, do I stay or leave my relationship? What do I do? I'm not going to know from there. So just be in this completely restful, peaceful place. Steep there without having to know anything. Just be. Let everything go and just be. Don't do anything. And that's the answer for now.
Okay.
Thank you for asking that question, because it's important. And A, thank you for being vulnerable to ask.
Thank you. I really appreciate your guidance and support. And I also just love who you are.
Mhm. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
And I know we went like longer, so thank you, everybody.
I was going to ask because it looks like Mary is back.
Sure. I mean, I have time, so I don't know.
Are you open to take one more call? Because I'm guessing she probably
Yeah.
got kicked out right at the moment we were asking her to join. So
Yep.
Mary, I hope that I'm saying your name right, Mary. Go ahead and come off mute and ask your question, and welcome back. We saw you disappear.
Thank you.
Oh.
Yes, I had a problem with my internet connection, which was kind of interestingly synchronistic.
Right.
Maybe also in relation
Yeah,
to the
like why
question.
now, not then, right? Yeah.
So I missed a little bit of the previous person who asked what the question was, but I was kind of thinking maybe my question is already partly being answered, though I don't know what the question was. I resonated a lot with some of the things that were said by some of the first people who asked questions, and maybe to take the example of what you said about one foot on one side and one foot on the other. So my question kind of is, how do I deal with what I would call my kind of restless impatient nature that just wants to pull that leg out of the other side?
So for
More
you,
kind of forced rather than waiting for the right one.
yep. So for you, and this is a good reminder for all of us. I want you to go to feel that feeling that you're talking about. Okay. I want you to ask yourself, what percentage of this is mine, I wonder? And just see what you feel. It's not about the perfect number. It's just the kind of overview of
20 is what came.
Okay. Second question. How is this energy getting into my space, I wonder? What's it sticking to? And then just see what comes. What within you is allowing that in? What's it sticking to?
As you asked that question, there was a word that popped into my head, but it makes no sense. Or maybe it does. I don't know. The word that came up was incontinence.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was like, should I say that? But there's nothing else that came.
What do you know for sure about yourself as a being? Let me just start there. What do you know for sure about yourself as a being that wants to be shared right now?
The word that what comes is nothing.
So what you need to know about yourself is nothing?
And what I know about myself. Or nothingness, maybe. More like.
Oh, so like a good nothingness. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. How important is it to the universe when you make specific shifts?
To the universe?
Yeah. And other souls.
I'm not sure.
Yes, you are. You feel it, right? Yep. So where you're dropping in right now that I watch you. So now I can share what I need to share. So when you're talking about this shift that you're in, I see it's energy, not you, in your space, trying to make you feel like all those feelings, but really you're on the cusp of a pretty major shift. And when you make the shift, it affects other souls in a very specific way. You've done this before. It doesn't want you to do that. So it's showing up as all these things that you think you need to heal or shift or change, but it's not you. It's energy trying to stop you from making the shift that you're already making.
Right. Wow.
And so why this is important is because I'm saying out loud and in front of everyone here who the fuck you are. And you fucking know this already. Right? Like you have to mentally and consciously admit to yourself that you matter. And I'm not talking about we all matter, la li la, okay? Because that's true. I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about you and the importance of who you are and why you are on this planet right now. And when you make certain shifts, it freaking matters. And there's at times, there's energies that don't want you to do that because of how much you take a role in tipping the scale of ascension and awakening for humanity and all other worlds. And I have to say it out loud so you know it's freaking true. Because you already know it's true, but you have to admit it.
Okay.
Like, meh, meh. You're not really this person you keep trying to pretend that you are. Yes, you're a person, right? But you can't not know anymore. You can't play stupid anymore. And you do these shifts anyway. But as a human being now, to empower yourself and live the life you want, you have to admit who you are. I matter. My being matters. I've done this in other lifetimes also. I'm doing it again. But my traumas and my upbringing and my father would like to make me think I'm nothing. But it's not fucking true. So it's time to like, it's almost like break glass in case of emergency. Because we need you to know who you are. So you can do this stuff consciously and be that badass to be like, no energy and no, I'm going forward. I know my own energy and this energy that feels weird is not me. I'm truly not an impatient like that energy, right? So what energy does is it takes our fears and our wounding and just makes it bigger, expands upon it. So we would never even think to ask, is this mine? Because it feels like ours, but it's just worse, bigger and worse, right? Like we had to stay on the call until right now to answer this goddamn question, right? Because you have to wake the fuck up, man, and stop pretending you're this person only. Right? I just want to throw like jelly beans at you and be like, and you go, oh, I love jelly beans, and yet they're too sugary. I don't know if I like them anymore. Like, it's about celebrating who you are. Heal the little girl, take her with you, being like, whoever told you you were nothing, no, it's not true. I know you still feel that way, and you still believe it, but it's not true. And we're all here with you. Fucking loving you and holding space. We're not trying to hold space, we just are. Because something is resonating here, right? Beyond what our minds can understand, you know. So, what do you want to say about that?
Let me, I was almost going to say, let me sleep over it though. There's some, oh, this is interesting. Or is this for everyone? I'm now, as you ask the question, I'm getting a pop-up saying, confirm your speaking language.
That's funny. Oh, my hair is crazy. Yeah, man, it's time for you to be who you are.
Yeah.
Right? And it's
Okay.
admitting something that's already there. It's not having to figure it out or go find it. It's like, all right, I'm taking off the mask. And what I'm saying, can take time. It's a process, right? However that process will be. But yeah.
No, but it definitely resonates. And also I think the being aware of what's not mine.
Hmm.
I tend to how do you say, get in a lot that is not mine, and
We all
sometimes I'm
do.
aware, and sometimes
Yeah, we all do it.
sometimes
It's
I'm
2 seconds. We're in an emotion, we're in an energy. We don't even know we're in it until we ask, how much of this is mine? Wait, what? Oftentimes we get 0. Like, wait, what? What do you mean I don't feel this way? Yeah. Thank you for your bravery, because I couldn't have said what I needed to say without you,
well, thank you for your answer. Yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful. Yeah, thank you. I get the strong feeling that there was many people on this call that needed to hear exactly that. And I think it goes back to what we're talking about. Just be you, authentically
Just
be
be
you.
you. Yeah.
Stop being something else. Just be
Yeah.
you. And unapologetically you. Like just be you. Oh, so awesome. Oh, thank you everybody for all of your questions. They were amazing. And I know that we are way over on time, but I don't want to leave until you share what your free donation gift is.
Yeah. So I wanted to give you guys a group power healing, which is what I do. We didn't even get into what I do. It doesn't really matter. All my stuff's on my site. But so I do this thing called group power healing, and I help people clear the old super fast and embody who they are faster, easier. That's the gist of it. And then we work with the energetic shifts that are going on and help you get through those shifts that much easier and faster. So I went through my store and I'm like, what do I want to offer? And so the one that came to offer you guys is called Transform and Elevate with Greater Ease. Immediately clear countless outdated energy and past consciousness in your body, mind, and energy. So the group power healing that is there for you, it's an MP3. Once you make your donation, you'll get the link to my page of where you can download that MP3. And it's all about up-leveling your energy, which is perfect for the call today, to help you more quickly up-level, be who you are, own who you are, and boom, boom, boom. So that's what that is. And all the details are on the page, but that's the gist of it.
Perfect. Yes. So everybody that's on this call, get her donation gift, because we all came to this call because we needed to hear the message. We're all up leveling in some kind of way, but ultimately, let's just be ourselves. It's that
The
simple.
end.
I'm like,
the answer of all of this. Just be you.
it's that simple. Let's just be us.
Yeah.
In all of our beautiful weirdness and everything. Embrace it. We need it. So, oh my gosh.
Thank you so much.
Huge thank you to you. I had so much fun. Thank you so much for being here.
Kelly, for having me.
Everyone that joined. Oh, this was so much fun. Oh,
so good, man. Love it.
Yes, it was so fun. Oh my gosh. Well, to everybody that joined and then everybody that will be listening later on, please know so much love from my heart, Ambujam's heart to yours. And, until next week. Until next week, I will see all of you then. All right, everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys. Love you.